when it comes to economic growth and development. No country is able to do it on its own without help and input from other countries. Even the most advanced nations in the world still need help from other developed countries every now and then. Africa is a fast-developing continent, and many foreign investors understand that there is a lot of money to be made in Africa. There are, however, a great number of opportunities in Africa that many investors and businesses aren't aware of, especially as the economy of the continent is not only small but poor. Here are 15 small business ideas and opportunities in Africa for the year 2022. Alternative energy. Africa is undergoing a period of accelerated economic growth and transformation in response to global pressures and demands. The availability of energy is a fundamental requirement for Africa to be able to foster and harness its sustained growth and achieve economic and social development. The International Renewable Energy Agency has estimated that by 2050 the continent will be home to at least 2 billion people, almost double its current population. The rapidly increasing populace has led to power production capacities in Africa failing to meet current levels of consumption and demand. The deficiency in the supply of power across African nations is likely to hinder the continent's drive to achieve its economic growth projections. But much of Africa's renewable energy potential remains untapped, and the scope for growth could create investment opportunities across the continent. Digital banking solutions. Over the last 15 years, mobile money and agent banking has transformed the delivery of financial services across Africa. Combined with national or digital identity and ECIC, mobile money has helped to drive levels of financial inclusion which were previously thought impossible. Over the last 5 years, digitization is transforming financial institutions and the way that transactions are performed. For example, Equity Bank in Kenya now conducts 97% of all of its transactions digitally outside its branch network, with most transactions occurring on its Easy 24/7 mobile banking application. Digital transactions have been facilitated by the growth of payment ecosystems, such as the M-Pesa platform. Increasingly, central banks are requiring interoperability by routing transactions through national platforms. Home automation devices. While the concept of smart homes has had several false dawns in recent decades, new technologies are starting to vie for the attention of homeowners with the potential to better control energy and water use. Smart speaker technologies such as Amazon's Echo, Google's Home, and Apple's Siri have all made inroads through their voice interaction capabilities, with Google Nest providing a breakthrough with its smart thermostat. On the water side, a smartphone-enabled technology promises to virtually control the temperature in your hot water tank with a clamp-on meter that can detect leaks and monitor peaks in water use. AI. Prior to the current wave of AI, it would have been hard to imagine using computer software to connect riders to taxis, but today Uber has become one of the largest companies in the world by doing just that. It utilizes sophisticated machine learning algorithms to predict when people are likely to need rides in certain areas, which helps proactively get drivers on the road before they're needed. AI is important because it can give enterprises insights into their operations that they may not have been aware of previously, and because, in some cases, AI can perform tasks better than humans. Particularly when it comes to repetitive, detail-oriented tasks like analyzing large numbers of legal documents to ensure relevant fields are filled in properly, AI tools often complete jobs quickly and with relatively few errors. Mobile phone manufacturing. The smartphone market across Africa saw total shipments of 22.6 million units during the third quarter of 2019, an increase of 4% on the second quarter, according to market analyst, International Data Corporation, IDC. Overall, mobile phone shipments to the continent amounted to 55.8 million units during the third quarter of 2019. Feature or basic mobile phones accounted for 59.4% of the total, compared with smartphones taking up the other 40.6%. Any innovative business idea that enables mobile phones of great quality to be manufactured and assembled in Africa will with no difficulty attract foreign investors into such profitable venture. Cybersecurity solutions. Cybersecurity threats and concerns seem to be spiraling up as the workforce continues to shift to working through digital platforms. According to a research, managing user access to information, data loss and recovery, visibility and control of data, and compliance challenges remain some of the biggest concerns for organizations. Almost 80% of organizations that participated in this research from Zimbabwe, South Africa and Kenya agree that cybersecurity threats have increased over the past year. When segmented by respondents working specifically in large enterprises, the research permitted a more informed audience and knowledgeable opinions. According to the study, an emerging trend for 2021 is that 53% of the respondents emphasize security and data protection as significant concerns. E-commerce. From the early days of trade by barter to the days of online shopping, commerce has come a long way. Consumers no longer have to wait long periods to get their goods delivered or limit themselves to trading within their environs. Now, consumers can place orders from the comfort of their homes and have them delivered in a short time, ranging from a few hours to a few days. This increase in convenience has led to a corresponding increase in consumer spending. In Africa, the average spending by online shoppers has risen steadily over the years. Drone technology. New unmanned aerial vehicle technology can potentially solve some of the biggest challenges facing the region and be a major catalyst towards a future of prosperity, peace, and independence. Drone technology is already being applied to solve the challenge of delivering medical supplies to rural and hard-to-reach areas that are cut off from the main transportation systems in major cities. These life-saving deliveries, made by an expanding fleet of cargo drones, include pharmaceuticals, vaccines, and blood packs. In an experimental program called Dr. 1, drones are being used to provide girls and young women with birth control supplies in the rural areas of Ghana on 5-foot-wide drones. Healthy foods. The increasing adoption of healthy eating habits is notably driving the health and wellness food market growth, although factors such as the high cost of health and wellness food may impede the market growth. Africans are not left behind on the fitness trend that has taken the world by a storm in recent years. However, Africans still have to rely on importation of healthy food items like gluten-free powders, protein powders, healthy shakes, smoothie powders, and sugar substitutes. Some of these items can be made easily in Africa, and foreigners are always happy to invest in businesses that help to satisfy a growing demand. Internet service provider. Expanding network connectivity across sub-Saharan Africa will open up digital services that many of us now take for granted. Mobile banking, WhatsApp chatting and video, e-health, e-education are key services only possible with reliable internet connectivity. Access to the internet means being able to save, invest and borrow money. Getting an education, having access to basic healthcare, and being able to trade with bigger markets are all fundamental to socio-economic advancement. That has been a powerful force fueling economic growth over the past century across Europe, North America and Asia. Wastewater recycling. Wastewater recycling is a growing technology in the world, and it is especially beneficial for African countries with water scarcity problems. Wastewater recycling is the process by which wastewater is filtered to remove solids and then further treated to a level necessary either for human consumption, called potable reuse, or for irrigation or commercial applications. This advanced, multi-stage process, similar to, but far less energy-intensive than, that used in seawater desalination, results in useful, high-quality freshwater, as well as a waste product known as sludge, which is then processed for a variety of purposes, including fertilizer. Affordable housing. In the formal real estate industry, there is an emerging narrative that affordable housing deficits in African cities represent a vast untapped market. Governments have encouraged this shift in focus, initiating public-private partnerships to build large-scale affordable housing projects on relatively cheap land in peri-urban areas such as Ningo Pram and Greater Accra. Many of these projects focus on subsidized homeownership rather than social rents. This means they are unlikely to be affordable to low-income groups. For the urban poor, therefore, informality is likely to remain the norm for the foreseeable future. Biofuel. Global demand for climate-friendly transport fuels is driving vast commercial biofuel projects in developing countries. At the opposite end of the spectrum is small-scale bioenergy production. This offers a way for the poor to meet their energy needs and diversify their livelihoods without compromising food security or environmental integrity. Governments hope that it will be possible to combine the advantages of both large and small-scale production of biofuels to generate energy security and GDP at the national level while opening up local opportunities. In Africa, most governments are keen to attract foreign direct investment and see big business as a strategic means of scaling up rural development. But there is a middle way. By encouraging business models that bridge large and small enterprise, African governments could show that commercial competition can go hand in hand with a range of real local benefits. Green engineering. While much of the world is looking at how it can use more green energy and cut CO2 emissions ahead of the COP26 climate summit, across Africa the challenge is somewhat different. For many across the continent, it's the challenge of accessing any energy supply at all. Some 600 million people in Africa don't have access to energy, limiting their ability to start and run businesses. Even in the mega cities of South Africa and Nigeria, businesses have to deal with rolling power blackouts. So governments, entrepreneurs and innovators are working to fix this. In Ghana, the country's Ministry of Power says more than 80% of the population has access to electricity on the national grid. But reaching those in remote communities has been a challenge. So the country is using microgrids, independent energy systems serving specific areas, to provide low-cost, clean energy, powered by solar and wind power to isolated communities. Electrical vehicles. Electric vehicles remain rare in most of Africa. The probability of finding one is about 1 in a million. In South Africa, which is thought to be the largest EV market on the continent, only 1,000 out of more than 12 million vehicles on its roads are EVs. Even fewer electric cars are in operation in most other African countries. This is because the most popular vehicles are second-hand cars. Reports estimated that about 40% of the global exports of used vehicles go to Africa. Specifically, in Nigeria, Kenya, and Ethiopia it is estimated that the proportion reaches about 80 to 90% of total vehicles imported. If you learned something new from this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell to make sure you're not missing any of our next videos. And be sure to hit the like button and drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again in the next video.